It has been a long road, but we have finally arrived at the final 6 second rehearsals today on May 7th. We've now seen 2 run-throughs of every single act in Eurovision 2017. Should we talk about the final 6? Let's do this! And of course, those final 6 are the big 5 plus host nation Ukraine. Ukraine kicked this off and I really liked it. To me, it's much more manga Turkey. They have the frenetic, fast camera cuts, the strobe lights, the energy, the head in the middle of the stage. They're still giving head and they're giving it real good. It kind of works better with the LED effects. You see the floor effects bleeding into the skull effects. At the end, they pan out further and slower, so you see the man submerged in the LED floor much clearer. It makes more sense. It's a very poetic ending. I really like this. I'm now confident this will be mid-table. Maybe it could even push top 10 depending on the running order, because we know Ukraine has a lot of friends, but that's just me.
I think this was probably the most improved of all the rehearsals we saw this morning. They've changed their outfits. They don't look boy band anymore. They look more rockers. It's kind of a padded vest, grey padded vest, the lead singer's wearing anyway. Then they've changed the lighting a bit, so the head at the start, it's a bit more subtle and it doesn't jump out instantly at you, and it doesn't look tacky, so it's darker blue and it more fades into view rather than just being there. And they've worked out the effects that at the end it really is obvious that it's supposed to be a man submerged in the stage.
Yeah, 100% much better. Definitely the camera cuts have been improved. Pretty much for all of these actually, they really all had most of them had camera issues. They've seemed to have sorted them. But no, it pops a lot more. You actually notice they have words on the background now. They probably did have them to begin with, but you just couldn't see them. And they also have like Chinese symbols. It's all these little lyrics from the song just put on the backdrop. It does stand out. It makes you notice it. And yeah, no, very good. And you know, rock music does have a place at Eurovision at the end of the day, and there are usually chances that a rock song will do well. Soft Engine obviously did pretty well. There's a good reason to believe that this could do top 10. Because I think the juries will respect it, because they do perform it very well as well. Everything about it is very slick and just a very good job.
It felt more musical because of the visuals, if that makes sense. Next up is Italy. Francesco Gabbani, his ape was there, he was there. Finally, the LED ape doing the dance is almost in sync with Francesco and his backing vocalist, and now his backing vocalists actually have the dance down. They seem to have practiced their choreography. This was still bright, this was still happy. I still couldn't see the gorilla or Francesco at times. They still bleed into the background, but he told us in an interview yesterday that he's going to light up, and we don't know if that means from him or if it's going to be electronic, but I'm thinking something else will be on the suit, so he will stand out.
Yeah, the fancy dress gorilla right now, he's not working. His dance moves are fine, but he doesn't have the same impact he had in Sanremo, because in Sanremo you could see him. Now it's all these bright colours, but for whatever reason he just seems to be in everywhere where there's black. It's where the black gorilla is. They don't put him on a green background or an orange background or somewhere where he would pop. Yeah, because you can't even see his features, and he's just there spinning around, and it's like a hairy furball, and it could be any creature.
Yeah, the camera angles are much improved on this one. There's a lot more closer cuts, which was the big issue. It was this wide open thing, and you couldn't really tell where Francesco was at times because it was black on black in terms of the screen. I do think that they do need to figure out something else with the 8 though. Maybe just light up the floor a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, use the different colours. They've got the rainbow colours there. Use them as a way of, you know, highlighting the gorilla. But otherwise, it's pushed itself right back into winner territory. He's drawn first half. He'll probably be 11th, 12th or 13th.
In the running order.
I have I have no fear about this one. I think that I do think it's just the obvious winner now.
Today it felt like a winner, and that's fantastic to see. Next, we turn to Spain. Manel Navarro, much the same. I think they had a few more close-ups of his face, because he is perhaps the highlight, because he's really selling it, giving that hippie boho vibe. And some of the surfboard effects, you know, they fall in succession. That was a bit slower, or it was more high impact rather, because they pan out. And I love the LED shot from overhead where they appear to be standing on surfboards. Rock on, surfer dude!
Yeah, the shots were clear, and there wasn't any confusion with the cameramen like the last time, where they showed us about 10 seconds of Manel's feet. And it was much more obvious what they were doing on the surfboards, because in the first rehearsal it was kind of like, oh, was he surfing? Oh, I didn't notice that. Whereas now you really can't miss it. But aside from that, everything was kind of as was.
Yeah, the surfboard thing, it doesn't... I'd almost have preferred them to actually have surfboards on stage in a way, because it kind of works, but I don't know, it doesn't pop enough, because it's not 3D in a way. It just doesn't stand out. It's a nice visual, don't get me wrong, and I did prefer today than the run through on Friday, which I really didn't like. I thought it was terrible, but he sounded better. It all just worked a little bit more. They still have the terrible opening shot of the drummer running off to go get to his drums, which looks ridiculous, but otherwise I think it was a minor improvement. I still think it's fighting to get away from last place though, and at the moment I think it is losing that fight. I
really love the opening moon shot. I didn't actually notice the drummer because I was focused on this glorious grey moon. Eventually the sun comes, giving us light, giving us life. Manel, you slay. Alright, next was Germany, Levina, Perfect Life. And you know what? Much the same. She says sometimes it's wrong before it's right, but this was right to begin with. I thought this was on point during the first rehearsal. I thought it was on point today. She looks amazing. Her face, her beauty, her vocals were better. Her vocals were better today. Look, it's looking good. I don't think Germany's coming last.
Yeah, well, the main thing that she needed to change was her complete backdrop after the opening 20 seconds or so. But obviously that's a bit much to ask at this late stage in the game. So she did as well as she could with what she's given.
Perfect Life.
I still maintain that, yeah, and sometimes it's wrong before it's right.
Perfect stage.
Perfect stage for the first 20 seconds or so.
MacBook Pro. I love my MacBook Pro, y'all. Sorry.
Yeah. So I still think the opening seconds are magnificent. They're just stunning. And hopefully then that will carry her enough that she will avoid the dreaded last place.
Please, she doesn't deserve last.
I have actually realised it's quite clever that they finally start showing like the titanium background after it stops sounding like titanium. No, it was good. I mean, I thought she did a good job the other day. They didn't need to change much other than the backdrop, and they couldn't. I think there were a couple new camera shots. No, they focus on Levina because ultimately she is the star of this performance. The song certainly isn't, but she is the star. She looks great. I do think that I don't think she'll come last. She certainly doesn't deserve to. And again, second half in the running order, that's a pretty good draw, as long as it doesn't get swamped in between some of the big hitters.
She is like titanium, a strong woman. Next, we turn to the United Kingdom, Miss Lucie Jones. Very gold, very starry. She changed her dress. It's now more reflective and bright. Not gold lame, but some kind of shiny material. Looks really good on that stage. I must say, I wasn't as wowed as I was yesterday. I don't know if that's because I've seen it, 4 or 5 times now. So perhaps that's why. But she's vocally very competent. I think the camera shots worked well. I don't know if this is something people will run and vote for, but people will certainly respect it. No one's going to make fun of this. If you make fun of this, you ain't got no taste. But I don't know if it's going to, have that wow factor to get televotes.
The staging is still wow.
Yeah.
But I felt that Lucie was dressed. She was scrubbed up, so she had this really expensive looking gold dress. She had her makeup on and her hair done, but I don't think it was as impactful as when she was stripped bare, because she kind of had a faded out gold dress the last time, and her hair wasn't done and her makeup wasn't on, and she kind of looked like a woman who was down on her luck in hard times, and it fitted with the song because she would never give up on you, and it was kind of like the musical theatre Les Mis, whereas now
I got a Cosette from Les Mis.
Yes, whereas now she's like, oh, she's the princess, and it doesn't have the same emotional connection, I think, with the final outfit.
Yeah, I definitely preferred the original dress. There was one issue with one of the mirror effect shell thing didn't actually work in the first run through, but then it fixed itself. It's still very good. The Ukrainian audience, again, who were in today, they really appreciated this. They were cheering quite loudly. It was the biggest one I've heard from them. I'm very hopeful for top 10. I don't know whether we'll get that, but again, I still think this should win. If it was just a pure staging and song, at the moment, it's still above everything else for me.
And And finally, the last country to rehearse was France. France says Alma, ooh la la, Requiem. She sounds great. She's no longer nervous. Like during the promo trail, she proved herself repeatedly again and again, and the English portion of the song is more confident now. She's not stumbling over the lyrics. She's really enunciating very well such that I hear every single word, which is what you have to do. I think they've figured out a lot of the technical issues with the cameras because it's looking very, very chic, very technologically advanced, because at once it's very classic, Parisian skyline, skyline, and then it's also very futuristic with that panning, which is almost like the Matrix. I'm a big fan of this.
Yeah, I think today was a tale of tighter camera angles. Everything was fixed. And the thing about Alma as well, we were talking about it yesterday, who is the Eurovision artist this year who people are most starstruck by? And I think it is Alma. She exudes this star quality, and she's so beautiful and tall, like she's nearly like a supermodel in a way, and that comes true on the screen. Totally. But we still have the issue of the dress. The dress is stunning, but the dress just mouths away into the background when we have the night drop of the Parisian city skyline. It disappears and it's like, oh, there's a headless Alma. But apart from that, everything else is much improved.
Yeah, tweaking the contrast I think will make it work.
Yeah, there's definitely, the dress is still an issue. I still have a slight thing where it just looks like she's walking from one place to another. It doesn't have enough purpose, it feels like, or rhythm maybe. There's just a little tweak here and there that might just help it feel a bit more alive rather than this is the structure, you will stick to it. Because at the moment it doesn't feel very spontaneous or anything like that. It doesn't have life. It's very, very nice, don't get me wrong, and she sings very well. Yeah, there were one or two little vocal things, but nothing anywhere near as bad as we've seen from some artists in Rehearsals. And I just think that she has definitely, from where she was at the start of this whole process to now, it's just such an improvement. And you compare that with some of the other acts, Blanche kind of hasn't...
The other direction.
It's not so much the other direction, but she's sort of like hit a plateau. Alma just seems to keep growing and growing in confidence. So, it's a good example. Maybe that will still happen for these other acts, like an Imri or like a Blanche. They could still, at just the right moment, really nail it for us. But Alma is there, and that means that she can keep growing and growing. And I think that France, I still don't know whether they'll match or top Amir, but I think they'll do very well.
I hope they top Amir. I prefer this to Amir. I love Amir. No, but I love Amir. I just love this even more. I think France, hands off to Eduardo Grassi, Hani, going from, what twin to this. It's just amazing. In any case, that's what we think. What do you think? Who of the Big Five plus Ukraine has you wet with excitement? Who is making your blood flow? Hani, let us know here on wiwibloggs.
Make sure to subscribe.
And please leave your best innuendos in the comment section below as well.
And we will see you later.
Bye.